And we are back with another episode of the Greasy Off Podcast, where our guest has just seen my incredible wardrobe that I will be rocking this evening.
Unbelievable. You look great.
I got the gold chain. I almost got fake tattoos. I'm like, I want to be full Mike this episode.
You look more like me than I look like me right now.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, my good friend, this is actor, baseball player, dancer, head baseball coach, Mike Vavasis, Mikey V, Vava. You have too many names now. I don't know, but everybody, welcome to the show. Thanks for making time for us, dude.
Oh no, thank you for having me, dude. This is so exciting. I know I do. I guess I have my job title's pretty wild there, huh?
Let's introduce that too. So you're not just any of those things. This is the head baseball coach of the Savannah Party Animals, which, if you don't know who that is, they are the opponent of the Savannah Bananas every game, right? So you guys are, and what people, I'm gonna get this out of the way right away. What people forget, like they say, oh, the Bananas are like the Globetrotters of baseball,
Right?
But the Washington Generals never won. The Party Animals win, and not only do they win, but I'm pretty sure you had the first winning season in Party Animal history last year as head coach. Am I right in saying that?
You absolutely are right. That's the truth right there.
So so we're not just talking we're talking to a winning baseball coach right now who's defying the odds of exhibition baseball, is the way we'll put it. Dude, I love it.
That's awesome.
Well, dude, it's been a long time coming that we get to talk and record it. People hear it. I have a strange feeling it's not going to be as funny as we think it always has been. But Mike is one of my oldest friends dating back to 7th grade, where we met at baseball camp with two little fat Italian kids just trying to get by. You know, we hadn't grown into these adult bodies just yet. We were still kind of waddling around.
We had the weight, just not the height yet, you know?
Rocket arms, no speed.
Zero speed. I still have no speed,
if we made contact, we got a little pop out of us.
That's it, dude. Man, I was actually thinking about that old little baseball camp the other day, man. What an adventure that was.
That was crazy. We met at a rec center baseball camp just because our mom's like, go ahead.
Well, in like a basketball court too. We weren't even on a baseball field. we were like, it wasn't even cold out, I don't think. We were just in a basketball court, just fielding ground balls on a hardwood floor.
He's like, yeah, I like the hardwood better. He died, right?
Yeah,
that guy
like
died.
What?
Yeah. R.I.P. Jack.
You know what?
Right?
Oh yeah, he most likely, yeah.
We don't even know. Yeah, he probably.
It's not classified. He is, but he could.
It didn't seem out of the question then, so that's why I'm like, it's probably like
he'd be pushing it if it was still kicking.
Well, dude, you have so much to talk about, so many accomplishments going on, but truly, like, congrats on all the stuff you're doing. It's awesome. I think the one thing we obviously want to get to is your time with the Party Animals, right? I think that's like awesome. Right. But I do have a question, because right into that Party Animal time frame for you were also doing some bodybuilding, and you still look like a bodybuilder, like while you're out in the field. You kind of look like a professional wrestler, like a little bit, right? You got like that jacked physique, looking awesome, and like, you know, like just like really getting the crowd going. Kind of like, could you ever have imagined this like sequence of events like happening to this moment? And let's not forget, the crowd doesn't know you were growing up an actor, you were a dancer, performer, like. Yeah. And you played baseball. Like, all of these things have led to this moment of you being where you are, and that's like the luckiest guy on earth.
Well, you know, it's like years of people like, what else do you do besides play baseball? It's kind of paid off. Like, never did I imagine there'd be like two realms where they like sync up. And then when I found out about it, of course, like my mom was like, oh my God, you must do this as soon as possible.
Mikey,
and I was like,
it's perfect for you.
Right? And I'm like, and still, like, even when I signed my first year, we did 3 games in Savannah and 3 in Mobile, Alabama. And I had no idea what I was getting into. They were just like, yeah, sign this contract, show up, we'll show you what we're doing. And first thing, we're like learning the Hey Baby dance. And I'm like, what did I sign up for? I'm like, this is insane. But I guess all those years of doing the stuff that normal dudes don't do, learn tap dances and be in plays, it paid off for me, I guess.
Well, that's what I say. Is like, I said the word lucky, and I mean that, because there is like a unique things have to go together for that to happen that were out of your control. But you did so much before that gave you the chance to do this. Like, growing up, like we knew once a year you were going to be in the dance recital, like for your mom. Like it was
That's
like
right.
that was like you could do anything, you could get away with murder in your mom's eyes, but you better be in the dance recital. And you were either acting
That's
and
it.
tapping and ballet dance. It was always there, which was always a
Right.
unique fun fact, about you. And then obviously you played baseball, and you get into bodybuilding just because you're like, I look good enough to try this.
Right. Yeah,
Let
man. I
me
was just
try
like, it
that.
was one of those things like COVID hit, and I was like, I've always wanted to do it. I was like, what other time do I have to dedicate until now? And then I just fell in love with it. And like, it's still like, it's hard to compete because of how much we travel. But I mean, I still work out like one, and like I'm competing. I try to do all the same
Yeah.
stuff. It's just, it's tough on the road, man, because those food places are unbelievable everywhere we go.
Yeah, it's got to be so tough, and then that all just leads to this thing where it's like I could do a little bit of all of those things at the same time,
Yep.
and combine it with really the thing you love most with baseball, probably. And
Exactly.
I think that's like the coolest thing on earth. And that people may not realize, like you guys players in the team, like you come from all different walks of life, right? Like, I mean, like there's some
Oh
guys
yeah.
that think that were minor leaguers at some point in time. There's a lot of
Hmm.
collegiate ball players. And like what I would say from my experience going, like I was super impressed by the level of baseball that was demonstrated on the field. Like people see the antics. They see the
Yeah.
like the funny videos, the flexing, the fan catches the foul ball, but they don't really watch like every pitch, and they don't get to see like that guy doesn't look like a Disney Channel actor. like
Right.
like he played baseball at a competitive level at
Exactly.
some point, right?
And
It
that's like the probably the biggest like props we get after this tour is like we like people come up to be like, man, like our kids loved everything else but the playing, but like we see you guys like actually play some ball. And he's like, you guys like are legit. I was like, yeah, so that's the goal, is like to bring like the most entertainment and like have those studs on the field too. So it's not like a joke if like you are a true baseball fan, you go out there and watch, you're like, oh, this sucks. Dude's throwing 81 miles an hour. No, like we have like upper 90s and guys launching balls 450 feet. So it's nice to see like the level of play is still good, because you never know what you can get trying to
oh
convert
yeah.
guys to do like dances as well or funny skits as well. But
I'll tell
it's
you
good
what,
talent out there
yeah.
for sure.
It is. It's like the most unbelievable, and I love baseball to death. Like one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen, like in person. I was like, because one, the audio, it's like there's always music playing. It's always fun. There's always a fun vibe, and like
Hmm.
I've been to countless baseball games, and you just like there's like a eerie silence as much as there's noise at a baseball game. It's just a lot of small
Hmm.
talk, going on amongst people. But when you get to a
Yeah.
Bananas game, it's like, no, it's loud and everyone's watching the game. No one's having side
Oh
talks. It's
yeah.
like, wow, like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Well,
It's
that's the
crazy
thing.
the energy.
Growing up, like everyone's like, oh, like be like baseball is like golf. Like when the pitch is being thrown, it's supposed to be dead silent. You know what I'm saying? And we have freaking people dancing in the third base box. We have people running like across the field. And like it's like the wildest things going on. There was a moment this year where we lost, like we blew the speakers at some stadium. So like our last inning was completely silent, and it was probably more awkward ever in my life because we were so used to everything being loud. But we had nothing kicking, man. I was like, man, this is weird. Like,
That probably really felt weird because it really like it's not like an annoying loud. It wasn't like dude, I like right away. I was like, let's go, let's
oh,
go,
you're getting
boys.
into it. I knew you'd love it.
Oh, dude, I could because the kids are having fun. It's good baseball. The antics are clean. Like so. With that being said, like I'm an adopter of this. Like, do you run into or do you like face people at all that are like, what is this? Like they're still traditionalists. Like they think it's like not as cool as someone like me thinks it is.
Yeah, well, we had Tim Kirchin come out to the game in West Palm. I think it was actually the game you came out, and he was in the press box. He goes, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen." He goes, "But this is," he's like, "This is the most fun thing I've ever seen," because it's just like, I mean, people are against it, especially the old school people, like my high school baseball coach for one. It was interesting trying to convince him to like understand it and see where it was. Like, if we did anything out of ordinary, I mean, we'd have to run till we puke. So, like, it's like showing
Yeah.
those baseball guys that this is cool. There's some people that, I mean, you can see comments online too.
Did he?
People are like, oh, sorry, what were we
Go ahead.
saying?
No, no, go
Oh
ahead. Go
no, they
ahead.
were just like, oh, like this is ruining baseball, and like, oh, like look at these gay dudes all over here in their pink, and I'm like, it's just our uniform color, man. Like we can't help it, we're just bright, you know. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely more positive than negative. At first, like I think when I first started in 21, people like the more stuff came out, people were like, what the heck is going on here? But no, we're getting a lot more support, but some people do hate on it.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because I just know that like the traditional baseball type is kind of like, well, those aren't the rules. We can't watch
Yep.
that game. And it's like when you watch it, you immediately tell there's like a sense of not taking it serious immediately that you love. It's like
Hmm.
watching kids play pickup ball, except you're in a great stadium. It's really good talent, and you guys just created your own rules.
Right.
It's like a bunch of big kids who
Oh
made
yeah.
their own game, like for sure. Like
That, literally,
it's awesome.
that was it's basically what it was. And you know, the owner, if you meet him, Jesse, I mean, he's a pretty good. He's awesome, but like you could tell, like he's like a big kid. You know, like he's like definitely the
Yeah.
rules. You can understand where he came up with them.
Well, he was inspired by like P.T. Barnum. He's like a big fan of like the circus like concept of creation and like
Oh yeah,
creativity, right? Yeah. No,
yeah,
curious though. So your high school baseball coach, I'm familiar. To describe him, he's salt of the earth, like hard nosed type of guy. I seen him take a foul ball, coaching third base, off of like his chest, like his shoulder, and he just like clapped his hands and he's like, "Let's go." The guy bet. I was terrified. I was terrified of that man from
yeah.
there on. Did he adopt? Has he come through to it yet, or is he still kind of like,
He
what is this?
he's come through to it. It's funny, man. He'll I seen him in person. It was, oh man, maybe 8 9 months ago, and he tried doing my little dance I do when I walk up. It was just funny because I've never seen the man dance in my whole life, and I was like, okay, I was like, he's getting it. So no, he loves it. I think he's just happy to see like that baseball is exciting the youth again because he's seeing it too, coaching all these years, like just the decline in kids like not really interested. And you know, once you get to high school, like no one really wants to participate anymore. So it's definitely, I think he sees like the good part of it, but I'm sure there's like some part where he's like, I can't believe this idiot's doing this stuff.
Sure. And like I mean, yeah, maybe one or two little details. I'm like, but you know what? It's its own
Right.
thing. Like it's not perfect. There's one or two details
Hmm.
about real baseball I don't like, right? So it's like
Right.
there's just stuff you're not gonna like, but it's really cool and it's fun to see you doing this. And the thing is too, that's great is like you guys make kids so happy. And this is I got a funny story. You guys make the kids
Oh
happy
boy.
and the adults and me. I'm a very happy fan too. One of the things you guys do that's really cool is after the game, you all leave, you go up the stairs in the stadium, and then you all sign autographs for everybody outside afterwards. And like all the
Yep.
players were super nice. Everyone's cool. Having no one looked like they didn't want to be there. And I thought that was cool about you guys.
Right.
But you have a chance to high five players as they're walking up the steps. And we had a moment where I felt like you big leagued me. And I've never felt like I lost a friend more than that moment.
I remember it so perfectly in my head until this day. That was
I had moved. So after the game, the players will walk up like the third base line. They're in first base, right? They go up both sides, right, based off their dugout. So they're leaving, and you can high five them if you're in the right seat. And I hadn't been all game, but it rained, and I moved down. I got this seat. I'm the only adult dressed in party animals gear, like at this game, right? Like I
like
look like
identical to
a
what he's
giant.
wearing.
This is exactly what I wore. I look like
Yeah.
most people are wearing banana gear because that's the home team, right? They're like party animals are kind of like the bad guy. So I'm dressed like this, supporting my friend, and you come walking up the stairs, and I go to give you a high five around a bunch of kids, and you completely did not notice me. Just didn't. No, and I was like, Mike, I got big leagued. He's made it. He doesn't even know
I
who I
don't know
am
that
anymore.
guy.
I just I grabbed your shoulder. I was like, Mike, and you turned around. You're like, oh my god, Anthony, what's up, dude?
Well, I've learned if you don't make eye contact with people, it's less of
Yeah.
a less of a chance they're going to stop you to side. So like, because they're like they push us to get out as far as we can because if you don't move out, the fans will never leave. So I wasn't making eye contact, and then I hear your voice, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I officially big leagued you, dude.
I
It was
got big
terrible.
leagues so hard, and I'm like dressed like this. I'm like, I'm an idiot. I'm so stupid.
I knew you would appreciate this. You stop away.
Nah, dude, it was so funny. All right. Well, oh my god. Um, so you're the head coach of the Party Animals, correct? Right. So
Yes, sir.
if and I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but this year you'll still be the head coach, correct?
Yes. Yep.
But you'll no longer be playing, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yes, I'm. As of the last game in Cooperstown, I'm officially retired as a player, and I'm just going to be full-time head coach now.
Can we walk through that last at bat though, real quick? Because
Yeah.
that's a heck of a way to go out. So like, forget about the level you're at. We all have our last like at bat, like at some point in
Right.
time. So you're doing it on this mega stage, and you guys go to Cooperstown for this like I forget exactly what it was called, but but you played at the same field. Isn't that where like they play once a year now in that game?
Yeah, double day. I don't. I
Okay.
they. It's called Double Day Field. It's like the oldest field that's been there at Cooperstown. I mean, to be honest, it's like not like the best, craziest field in the world. Like it's very
Okay.
it's like professional big league looking, if that makes sense. Like something we play adult league on and not kind of like question, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so we got inducted into the Hall of Fame at the same like the Bananas and Party Animals. We got into the fall like inducted that weekend and stuff like that. So
So,
it
so
was
you're at
pretty.
the
It was
Baseball Hall
really
of
cool.
Fame. You're getting inducted. You
Mhm.
don't. I don't think you knew this at the time, but that was going to be your last at bat that you were taking.
So
And if
so I
right, go
did.
ahead. Oh, you did.
Yeah, so I did. Yeah, so what happened was they came up to me the day before. So it's lined up like I would catch every start that Fluke throws. Like his personal catcher. He's the tall redhead kid. I'm usually
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
catching him. It's the breakfast before the day of, and they come down to offer me. They're like, "Hey, meet for breakfast. We want to talk to you." And I'm like, oh, "Okay." I'm like, "This is cool. Like, they want to talk to me." So I meet with everyone. They're like, "Hey, like, we want to offer you this. Like, you're gonna be full time with us. Blah blah blah. But you're done playing." I was like, "Oh." They're like, "So tomorrow would be like your last game ever playing." I was like, "Oh man." I was like, and it was also going for we're not technically playing for a championship, but it was to see who won the tour. Like we were down to one game. Bananas win, and they win the tour, and we win the tour. And I'm like, man, I'm like, what a stage. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't sleep the night before because it's just like one of those things. I'm like, man, this is the last game. Like, holy, it's like you can't line something up that well. And barely slept and woke up, and I was like, I got to do something exciting today. And then just like that, had one of the best moments in my banana ball history.
And that moment was hitting. Was it a walk-off home run to seal the deal for the Savannah Party Animals? Correct.
Right. So technically, so it was, but the way the game's played, like it didn't equal that out till like 3 innings later. So we ended
Oh,
up
okay.
winning.
Sure.
So we were, yeah. So
No
we
other
won
no
that
other
inning
points were
by two.
scored, right? Is that what it was?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we won
Okay.
that
I know
inning.
the rules.
Yeah,
I know the rules.
from that home run. Yep. You got to figure it out. So we won the inning from that home run, and then that we ended up winning the game because we had won that inning. So it was pretty sweet.
That's a walk off in my book. It's a walk off in Banana Book for sure.
I'll take it. I'll take. Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
So what a cool moment though. What a cool moment to finish on a big home run on your last day, like
Yep.
knowing you're playing. It's kind of like a movie. It kind of reminds me of like For Love of the Game when they tell like Kevin
Right.
Costner or remember he throws the perfect game or whatever. Like he like
Yep.
kind of knew this was my last thing, and it's like, dude, go hit a
Yeah.
home run. Like that's great, dude. So congrats, full time
Thank you.
manager now.
Yes,
So
sir.
prior to this past season, the Party Animals had not had a winning record against the Bananas, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we struggled always. We've always had talent, but it always seemed, and that's why I think like people will get so stuck up on like, oh, this is fixed, and like, oh, they play to win, because some of the games we lost like in the years past, it almost looks like we like did it on purpose. Like I remember distinctly this one play at the plate. It was the showdowns, the extra innings, and dude hits the ball in the gap, gets to the catcher on time. The catcher's waiting for the runner. The runner's like just coming down the baseline. They stop like as close as like me and him to his phone. The dude just slides under. The kid never made the tag in time, and we lost the game. And I was like, now this looks extremely rigged. And like after the game, the fans were like, wait, oh, good job. I'm like, no, we literally, it just sucked the play. Like we did not intend to lose, but yeah. So this is the first year like we've had a winning record, and obviously, I mean, it's the first year we've played an extended amount of games past 12 to 15. So obviously a bigger sample size this year, and but no, it was a great run. I mean, some of the guys I have on my team, I mean, and in the whole organization could be playing pro ball anywhere, but it's awesome to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Hey, small sample size for, you guys are a momentum team, right? You need a longer season to really get going. That's what baseball's about. It's about those,
Oh yeah, that's it.
all that extended. How many games did you guys play this season?
So the Bananas ended up, because they have the Challenger games where they play against some other
Oh, okay.
other
Okay.
teams outside. So they had, I think, right around 80, and then we had 69, which is very relevant, very very perfect for party animal culture.
That's a lot. That's a lot of games. That's a shit ton of games. Well, and that
Yeah.
was your first season as head coach, right?
Yes, sir.
So there's no coincidence that you guys end up with the winning season. So that's awesome. I love that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And you were a player coach, so you got to be part of it. So now you're going into it. You're just a head coach now.
Yep.
what do you say to the guys? Like, how do you get in this unique form of baseball where like obviously it's have fun,
Right.
Because you gotta have fun. Is there anything else you say to get them like hyped up? Because it seems pretty self-explanatory. Like it's like the
Right.
best baseball job on earth. But
No,
what do you
it's
tell them?
unbelievable. It's funny because like I think a lot of us play so loose is because we're not in the locker room like thinking about like, okay, like this guy's on the bump tonight. What's he gonna feature? Like they're like, yo, did you practice that fourth inning the dance break we have? Or like, did you practice the 6-2-2 where like it's like when the pitcher and the middle infielders and the catcher, center fielder, they all do like a little dance break and throw a pitch. Like those are what the guys are stressing about. Like we're not thinking about anything, baseball related. And then, once the game time comes, we're like, okay, this guy's throwing this. And so it's like it's one of those things where you have to like pick and choose like when to bring stuff up. But like on our side, we're a group of guys who ex minor league, high level college. So it doesn't take much to get them fired up. Like they know and they're out for blood. Like it's hilarious. Like we're having fun, but they're competing out there. So it's it doesn't take much to get them going. But it's almost like it's I don't know how to say it because like we're always together. So I think we kind of just pick up on the vibes of each other because you really can't say too much. They're always ready to rock and roll, especially on the party animal
Right.
side.
Because
Yeah,
it's like a fun time. So you're like, hey, our
it
job
is.
is to go have fun, play baseball. And it's funny, the thing on your mind that's bothering you the most is like, do I know this dance routine
Yeah,
well? And I'm like,
that's it.
that's what you grew up worrying about. So this was like,
Literally,
this was nothing for
the
you.
stage it's a different stage now. I'm in front of 15,000 people in a baseball stadium compared to a little recital.
One of the cool talents that you get to do a lot. So a lot of the players, for those who haven't watched, like will just demonstrate really cool talents. You have a guy on fucking stilts that I always
Yeah.
find that so entertaining to me. I don't care. Like really tall human just on a baseball field. He doesn't belong there. What is he doing?
No, dude, I took an AB. I hit off him for the first time in Milwaukee, and that was the most uncomfortable at bat of my life. The plane of where the ball comes down, it just doesn't make sense, and just
Oh yeah.
watching because he can't really stand still, so he's got to rock a little bit. So like I'm just watching this 10-foot tall man rock and like doing his thing, and like it's hilarious, man. And he's he competes out there. I told him, I said, man, I said, you really do. I was like, man, those things are high. He goes, and he's like, I know they are. And I was like, because I went to Busch Gardens, and the people on stilts aren't even like half the size of him.
Oh really? So he's
So
got like
like,
super
yeah,
stilts. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, man, this dude's up there and he's playing baseball, but dude, it doesn't make sense. Then we got the rodeo clown flipping out of a barrel,
Yeah.
throwing a pitch. Like it's like, where do we find these people?
It's so great, dude. It's such a it's so comical. It's so funny. And then you
Yeah.
see the guy jump out of a he throws pretty decent too, like the guy in
Oh, he
stilts
throws
throws as
great.
good as I would expect someone on stilts to throw. It's never been done before, folks.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I mean, there's not much
years from now,
like
years from now, there's gonna be kids all over the streets on stilts being like, I'm gonna be like that guy one day, just like a stilt
right.
baseball league.
The slowest move, no stolen bases.
Oh, imagine watching someone steal. Because one, if it's a pass ball, the guy in stilts is like, all right, hang on, I got it. Like if everyone was on stilts, they have to have like long gloves.
Wilson made him this like massive glove. It's like the size of my body, and like he still can't get it down there for ground balls if we put him at first. It's hilarious because it's just so far down.
Maybe that would be a game. All guys on stilts except like one player on both teams.
Right.
That's like the ground level guy. So he has to go and get all the balls that like they can't reach. I think that would be really funny.
Actually, you might keep that in the arsenal. So, create your own league.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'll have a competitive team against you guys, the Stilt Men.
There you go.
The men on stilts.
The men on stilts.
We're like, we don't want just one of you. We want all of you guys. All right.
You're just robbing circuses blind everywhere. You're just picking up all these stilt people.
The stilt guys seem to not be showing up anymore. Like they're just playing in my league. I got a bunch of carnies angry yelling at me like, hey, these guys had a good life before you showed up. Anyway, how did I get your talent though? Which is not on stilts. You're a tap dancer, and that's so. And are you the first baseball player to tap dance on a baseball field?
I think technically I am.
Okay.
I don't know if there's like a Guinness World Record thing, but I think technically that would be it.
Well, we're gonna look into that. We're gonna get an update on that because I think you are.
I'm 2 for 2. I'm 2 for 2 with the tap shoes on.
Oh, Yeah, you
which
save those
you
for a
just can't.
special at bat. Yeah, yeah. You don't just bust those out anymore. It's got to be a special
No,
moment.
no, yes, but yeah, man, it's. I'll tell you, my first AB with the tap shoes on was the most uncomfortable because it's so slick up there, and I fouled a ball right off the board up in the general section there, and it was
Oh,
terrible, dude. I was a foul ball off a brick board is much worse than
oh my
than
God.
off the freaking clay.
Wow,
It
I
was
didn't know they
terrible,
don't show that
terrible.
one in the highlight reel. So yeah,
No, they
sorry.
don't show that one, dude. No, I played it off
If
well.
there was a reason to not have a board underneath you while hitting, that would be it, probably.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Otherwise, what could go wrong? That sounds like really poor placement.
Well, no one
Oh, it's
even
so
knew
good.
I tapped. So like when I first like applied for this back in 21, I put it as like my special talent, and they were like, "Oh, you can tap dance, like super cool. We'll use it." They never use it. I'm like, okay, like I won't have to tell them anymore. And we were in Arizona at like a after game dinner, and Heather, my girlfriend, was like to the owner's wife, like, yeah, like Mike with his tap dancing. She's like, Mike can tap dance. And she's like, yeah. And she, of course, she has a video queued up, shows her. They call Jesse the owner over. Jesse's like, hey, you're tapping next game. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like I was clear off the radar, and then Heather threw me out there, and that's how it all came to light.
I appreciate her for doing that because I bothered you for a while and I was like, when are you gonna tap dance out there,
Right.
dude? Because that'd be so cool. Like none of it makes
Try
sense.
being
It's
my
not like,
mother, dude.
oh my God, I wish I could have. Oh, Mikey
Dude,
is so
every
good.
game. But do they know you tap dance, Michael? I'm like, yes, mom, they know. It's like I just don't understand why they're not using your talents. I'm like, they're gonna use them, and I'm just like, they're never gonna use them. And then
It's
boom,
because as a kid
made
growing
her
up,
day.
like you didn't want that. You don't want to tell your baseball coach that naturally. You're just like, yeah, I play
No,
third base, catcher, and I could tap. And you'd be like, what? Like, what do you, what do you do third?
yeah, but
What's
can you
that
hit
third one
now?
again?
But I can tap.
Yeah, yeah. I know I'm pretty good tap. I'm pretty good on my feet. Um, that's
Pretty
so
good of a
funny.
feat.
So, have there been any things you guys have tried that, like entertainment wise, that just did not work? Like you didn't bring it back. Like it's not something that's gonna be repeated if it's
Oh
appropriate, of
man,
course. But
there's no, of course. I mean, there's always some things that like we that like we'll run and then we're like that was terrible. We'll never do it again. And, like there's some ideas like that get shot down too. Like I remember for the Tampa game, we because the legend it's George Steinbrenner now. They're sponsored by Hooters, and they have the Hooters girls always like as the foul ball girls there during spring training. So I got the contact, and I got the Hooters girls coming out to the Tampa game last year, and they were going to like bring wings and beer and like walk someone up to the plate, and then like have like a wing party at third base while I'm coaching third base, and like we had it all set up. Then when game day comes, the owner's like, he's like, I just don't think that's on brand for like for what we're trying to do with the kids. And I'm just like, oh
yeah,
man, because I had it all set up, and I had to call and had some angry Hooters people because they were all set up for us. But like it's stuff like that where like we might have things set up and it's like it might not play well at that stadium, or like we'll do like something like a celebration and the fans are like, what the hell was that? And then so we're like, all right, we're never gonna do that again. But
yeah.
this is
Well,
really like trial and error.
it's crazy because like obviously kid friendly type of thing. It's like
Yeah.
but it is Tampa, so we both
That's
kind of
what
know. It's like I mean, Hooters is just like going to a Chili's, like
exactly.
back in Tampa
It's
area. So
it's like a fine dining restaurant back where we're from.
it's not weird to have Hooters on Sunday after church. Like that's just happens. Like
Absolutely not.
it's no,
It
it's
does.
just because you got so many Hooters, Wing House, Twin, like all the. I mean, they hub around the Tampa area, and they like
They know what they're doing.
So yeah, I think it's all right. That's it's a funny idea. That's such a funny idea. Oh my goodness, I love that.
It would have been great. It would have been great.
It kind of feels like how in a cruise, there's the comedian does an act and he does like a first act family friendly, the second one's not. Like it'd be sick if you guys
Right.
could have a first game for the kids and then the second one it's like this is the 21 and up game, and it's a little bit
Right.
more people getting slammed through tables and like beers getting chugged kind of thing.
Right. Well, we always say the bananas are for the kids and the party animals are for the moms.
You got that right, boy.
That's it.
Dude, what else? Anything else eventful? Any other good stories from this past season on the road that you'd love to share?
Oh boy, what?
If not,
Let's do it.
think about that, and I got another question for you that's easier to answer. So
Let's do it.
you guys do 69 games. Some of them are
Yes.
in Savannah, right? So I'd assume
Hmm.
maybe half or a little less are on the road. So what is on the road like with this bunch? Because this is kind of, you guys go all the way to California, as a team, up to New York. Like, you guys are all over the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Are-
No, it's
You
I mean,
guys
it's pretty sweet. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. Ah, sorry. All right,
No.
so we're doing this thing. We're doing this right now where we're both kind of trying to talk. I was just kind of life on the road. Like, are you guys on a bus? Like, how are you guys getting from place to place nowadays?
Yeah, so it depends. If it's within if it's within like 6 or 7 hours, we'll bus. But mostly we're flying, which is
Oh,
super
cool.
nice. But um, also it's a pain. Like living out of your bag. I'm sure you know how it is. It's tough
Yeah.
trying to prepare, but no, it's cool. They take care of us really well. They give us food for money. If we're taking the bus, we excuse me, we stop and we get a bunch of meals on the road. With flights that we never have to pay for anything, which is super cool. But it's there's some points where I mean you're on the road with the same. I mean, we were on the road together for 9 months. Like, I'm just glad no one killed each other, But that's what's cool with like the group of guys they select. Like, everyone gets along really well. But this year, I know we're gonna be on the road for the longest. We'll be on for a month straight, so that's gonna be
Oh
like
man.
the true test of the wills there. But it's nice. We'll travel for the weekend, travel back, have some time back here, and then go to the next place. So at least we get to like come back home for a little bit before we venture out to our new spot.
And this has evolved so much since you got there in 21. In 21, you were
Oh yeah,
mostly stationary in Georgia, I think. Like,
yeah,
is that right?
yeah. So 21, we did 3 games here, and then 3 in Mobile, Alabama, and then we did the following year in 22. We started traveling a little more. We did like West Palm, Daytona. We did Birmingham, and then Montgomery. We did a couple others. So like we did travel like close, but this was the first year we decided to just really spread it out.
Yeah. And that's dude, that's so interesting you said it. So that first season, 21, you guys did 6 games total, right?
Yeah, that's it.
I Yeah, it was kind of like, let's put the concept out there and see, and it was like,
See if people
so
liked
then
it.
and then you grew again in 22, and then this year
Hmm.
you guys were all over the internet. You guys were everywhere all at once, and that's super cool. So you're on the road. You guys are flying and stuff. When you're
Hmm.
flying, are people recognizing you like you're wrestlers? Like, are there kids that are like, "Hey, it's the Party Animals and the Bananas"? Do you guys dress up, or do you try to like keep a low profile?
It depends. I mean, some the thing is they load us up with so much clothing that I feel like my wardrobe is like either all party animal stuff. So like it's hard to, and if some of the times when we fly in, we'll go straight to the field to have batting practice or entertainment rehearsal. So like we'll be in some of our stuff. Like some guys will wear their jersey around, but you do see like most airports. Oh, 1 second. You still got me?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, most airports, especially like when we're coming into a town or we're leaving, like most families and people that came in for the games are there too. So like we'll get recognized, and like we have Jackson Olsen, who's like our superstar on social media. He's recognized everywhere, and you hear like screaming little girls and stuff. But yeah,
Okay.
it's usually like before like those cities because people are coming in and out, so we'll get recognized mostly at the airports, which is super cool.
Dude, that is a pretty cool experience. Like, I've seen
Yeah,
like people at the airport, and it's neat. But you see like a whole team of like, the pink and black, the yellow, like that's got to be
yeah,
so sick to see you guys traveling like as a kid
it
or as an
is. It's
adult.
cool,
I
man. But
Yeah.
it's funny because funny story is actually we were in I think it was Texas, and like so I don't hate babies by any means. I'm just throwing that out there before I start this story. I just never grew up with babies. I don't know how to hold them, right?
You were the baby. You were the
I
last
was the
child.
baby, right? That's it. So I don't know how to hold them. I almost hold them like I caught a fish, like like the pictures, like. So I'm in the airport and I'm struggling. We went out the night before in Texas. I'm trying to get on this plane, and this family's like, "Oh my God, like we had such a great time at our game, like your game, like you guys were amazing. Like we'd want nothing more than you to hold our baby for a picture." And I'm like, "Let's do it, right?" So I don't know, right? So I'm holding it like this, and Heather walks out of the bathroom, and all she sees me is holding a random, because their parents are far away, so she just sees me holding a random baby, smiling. And she's like, "I thought you found a baby, and we're just carrying it around the airport." And so I had to have the family show me how to hold the baby properly for the picture, because I had no clue what I was doing. But dude, this happens all the time. People want me to hold their babies, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like I don't. I had cats growing up. I'll hold them like a cat. I don't know how to hold these babies. It's so funny, dude.
I had cats growing up, right?
I had cats. I didn't have babies.
I
I
don't.
don't know. Is this the
Dude,
best?
can we? Does anyone have a baby we could let him borrow for the just to like practice some holds, like just some drills? We're just gonna run some drills on like pick the baby, yep, and
Looks
put the
so
baby.
uncoordinated. I'm just. I don't know what to do with them.
You're just like too jacked to hold a baby.
Does
What
this
do
baby
I
take
do with this?
creatine?
Oh, dude, that's so funny watching a big
Too
dude
funny.
not know how to hold a baby. I love that. Oh, dude, what am I supposed to do here? I don't know. Let's see. Banana ball winning seasons. I don't know. I pretty much asked you. Oh, you know what I was going to ask you about? Have you seen the Yogi Berra documentary?
I've seen like the preview for it, but I haven't seen. I want to see it.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's right.
Maybe I did. I want to say. I can't
It
remember.
starts off
It's on
with them
Netflix.
saying it's on Netflix. It was about how he was
Okay.
kind of not part of the top 4 living baseball players. There was like this. Remember that
You know,
part?
I did see it because yes, I do remember that now because he wasn't it was his granddaughter, right? She was the one talking about it,
Yeah,
or was
yeah,
it his
yeah.
granddaughter? Yep,
It
I
was
do
his
remember it.
granddaughter. Yeah,
Yep.
because they showed these 4 greatest living baseball players, and I forget it was I think it was Willie Mays, Johnny Bench, Hank Aaron, and I forget maybe Sandy Koufax. I don't know.
It was
It
something
was
else, but his
somebody
numbers were
worth
10
it.
times better.
His numbers were incredible. I slept on that. That was the
Yeah,
thing that got me because I've always known Yogi was a stud. He won all the World Series, but then when they
right.
showed over like an 8-year period, he won 3 MVPs. He finished second 3 times, and he finished third the other 2.
Yeah,
Like in a period of time, I'm like, dude, I forget that he just mashed, dude. He just absolutely raked,
yeah,
and he didn't strike out a lot. They said because he swung at everything, so he just was
yep.
always swinging, which is such a
The old
Yogi
Vladimir
thing to
Guerrero
do.
approach right there.
Yeah,
It
that
is.
too. Yeah, I thought that
That's
was
all. Yeah, no,
interesting.
it was. I didn't realize how good he was.
Yeah, no, I kind of like I was like, oh, he's a Hall of Famer or whatever, and his numbers retired. He's just it's because he won so much, and the whole thing was about how people have forgotten how great of a baseball player he was. He wasn't just like a funny guy. That was just something he was able
Right.
to do also. But man, they were mean to him. They used to call him like a Neanderthal, like in the newspaper,
Oh
which
yeah.
like a caveman and stuff. They're like, does it ever bother you at all that people are like, you kind of forget? And that was a time when people could really say stuff about Italians. So
Oh yeah.
they were just calling him the dirtiest of whats and greasy whatevers, and like dude, he definitely got it for sure.
Just roasting them, man. Especially in New York, man. I mean, it was like they were just always talking smack
Yeah,
in the papers,
greaseball.
dude.
Who's this little dorky greaseball with the big nose? Like dude, it's just
Well, it's
crazy.
like that new guy with the Giants, which I just have been because I don't watch football, you know me, but I've seen all these things with their quarterback. What's his
Tommy
last name?
Cutlets, Tommy
Tommy
DeVito.
Cutler, whatever. Yeah, that's it, dude. I keep seeing all this stuff online. I'm like, man, this guy, this is like the perfect person for the New York Giants.
Dude, perfect person. Who knows if he's even that good, but he's got to be working off of pure Italian. I'm from New York and I'm the
Oh,
quarterback of the fucking Giants energy right now. Like
that's
he's
it.
playing levels up because he's in the
Oh
Mecca. He's
yeah.
in the Mecca for Italians, and he's just like got a big name, and they're calling him by an Italian nickname. Like he dreamed of this. This is his dream come
Oh
true.
yeah.
100%.
This is how he imagined in his head. And he's probably got freaking his agent out there threatening like the defense, like, yo, I'm gonna put a hit on you if you don't let him score. Like
Oh,
imagine
dude,
that, like, you know what I'm saying?
they got to have extra security on the other team's locker room just so DeVito's boys don't show up.
The
Imagine like
Beatles
the
coming
kicker.
through.
There's a kicker on the other team. He's like, getting loose, and there's like a guy just like snapping twigs like in the end zone, just like would really hate if this was your leg. The
That's what I'm saying,
threats,
dude.
the hitmen walking around
The
the
hitman,
fucking
literally.
Giants. Yeah, that's terrifying. Now that we think
It's too
about it.
funny.
Like if someone picks him off, they probably send someone out to start their car the next day. It's like, there's just
We'll take care of him. Don't you worry.
don't you worry, son. No, he
Don't you
won't
worry.
pick you off ever again. The
Too
thing I
funny.
was getting at with the Yogi documentary was back to kind of what you guys do for the Bananas Party Animals. It's like you brought like, I don't know, some like cool energy back to baseball, and people are watching it, and you guys throw the other antics, but the game's still played, 90 feet to first, 60 feet 6 inches, right? It's
Right.
like traditional baseball. It's hard to build like, I don't know, traditions around new baseball cities these days. Like the Miami Marlins, Tampa Bay Rays, they still can't quite get like a following. And then I watched the Yogi documentary, and I'm like, well, it makes sense. Like back then, like Yogi fought in World War II. Like it was easy for fans to root for these players because like this guy
Right.
fought. He stormed the beaches of Normandy. Like
Right.
we don't have
Like,
problems like that, dude. These guys
no,
like
and
Mike
not
Trout
many of those
grew up
people
in.
do we have left. Like that.
No,
Like that's
dude.
like what? That doesn't make sense.
I think that maybe that's why some of the Cuban-born players get such a rise out of them, because like when you hear about their story about like immigrating, you're like, oh, it's crazy. Like, we like the triumph of people like in their lives. We don't get much of that anymore. Like all we get is the Cuban illegal immigrants, which is terribly sad. And I hate to do that, but like we root for the guy who got here in a refrigerator because we're like, dude, that's incredible that you
because
did
he throws
that.
95. It's like
he throws gas, dude, and he throws gas.
And he's happy with 3 meals a day, because that's what they don't have that. You know what I'm saying? I watched one.
But like,
it was like sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you.
I don't need. So it was on one of the flights. It was about it was like about 3 or 4 dudes overseas just trying to go through the recruitment process. And like, dude, watching like what they live in, I'm just like, oh my God, like no wonder they're like dying to get over here. Like it's just like it's terrible. And then they have people come out, watch them once a year, and then they don't hear back. It's like, what? Like that's what they're banking on, that one opportunity. And it's like
the Cuban baseball players.
It shows why they come up and play. Yeah, it's wild, man. It's like any just overseas in general, what they have to go through to get signed. It's like no wonder they freaking come here and kill it, because like they don't want to go back to that.
Hell no, dude. It's so weird. Yeah, wild. between like the Cuban baseball players, which that sucks, and Japan's got weird rules too because of the time you have to play there, whatever. Like, right. I don't know. Like when you compare Yogi's story of fighting in Normandy and being, he almost got a Purple Heart. And like, what was Shohei Ohtani's, problem? Well, he had to play in Japan for 7 years. It's like, oh God. Right? I don't know. I want to root for a veteran again, man. Like, I don't know. I think it was just,
exactly.
It was just the times. It was just the times, I guess.
It was the good time. I mean, that was the thing too. Like they take time off from their season to go fight in a war. I'm like, you wouldn't see that nowadays.
Nah, dude. Like Ted Williams was
Shohei's
like
$700 million contract.
It's like, yeah, we would, but he's also a pitcher, so we can't send him. I don't know.
We can't risk it.
We got some bullpen guys we could give you, but that's about it. Oh, dude.
The bullpen catcher gets shipped out. He's like, I don't want to go.
I don't know. You don't have a choice. You're catching in you're catching in the Middle East this weekend. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you. We were talking about the Yogi thing, and there was a whole thing. There was a whole reason I wanted to tell you about the Yogi thing, but I guess it doesn't matter.
I keep taking you off track, dude. I'm so sorry.
I don't know, dude. I figured that would happen. I'm glad it did, actually. But no, I just love too how baseball players back then also had like day jobs. So they talk about, oh yeah, during the off season he bags groceries at the grocery store, and you're like, what? Like, how did this happen? How did baseball become so big? We forget about that, right? Right. And that voice, that voice is gone
until today. Yeah. That the one that announces it, is that the voice you're talking about?
Oh yeah, see. Number 7, Mike Vavasis. In the off season, he's a bodybuilder and a tap dancer.
We need to bring that back.
I would listen
to. I like Biko.
What's Biko?
Our announcer. He's our announcer for the dude. He's got like such like the old school kind of like voice with him, and it lines up so perfect.
Yeah, dude, I love that. Like, only way he's catching up with that fastball is if he buys a bus ticket, right? I don't know. Like it's like, what? What is that even talking about? Like,
shit, I don't know. You should do it, dude.
I think I should just be the guy who like has a
That's
separate
impressive.
broadcast and says dumb shit that makes no sense. Like I love them talking about the weird stuff in their lives instead of gossiping about like analytics and statcasts and stuff. I'm like, nah, just tell me like Yogi was born with 1 foot bigger than the other, which caused a lot of problems for him as a child. Like,
You say it so nonchalant, like this. Like, oh, this
I can say
kid
the
grew a
word.
tail at the age 10. Like, they're like just throwing it on national TV, just like these people don't
He
care.
lost his entire family to a burning house when he was only 2 years old. It's like, what?
I'm friends with Yogi. Like, what? Literally. They
Dude,
don't.
I don't know.
They're ruthless.
I gotta just figure out a way to bring that voice back. But you do some pretty good impressions too. Could you maybe just give us like something good you got locked up that you've been waiting to get
Oh
out for me?
man, dude. So I've been practicing like the broad, or like kind of like the EA Sports thing. I don't know if you saw my TikTok.
I did see that.
The EA Sports. It's in the game, right? Or I can do
Yeah.
like the holy shit. Where'd you find this? Like the intro to rap songs, dude. I
Okay.
try to do that all the time.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that was good.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, what's
So
a really popular one that you hear them say a lot? Man, it's one that's coming right to the top of my head. It's like in a Little Wayne song or something. I don't know. I'll think about it, but I want to hear you do it because I know the voice
oh,
you're
dude,
talking about.
dude,
That's
I'll mess
hilarious
around
that you
all
do
the time. It's so funny because sometimes I can do it spot on. Then other times I gotta do it. I'm like, oh no, that doesn't sound so
it.
good. But
Can
like
you
my
give
voice
me?
is so raspy. I don't get it. I don't know what
Well, it's not
happened.
raspy. It's got some extra bubbles to it.
It's right.
It's bubbly. It's
It's
got a lot of
it's
energy.
it's those 32 years of secondhand smoke, smoke
Yeah,
rolling up.
yeah, that's what it is. Something like that. Who cares? You sound great, dude. All right, can you
Thank
give
you. I
me? Do you
appreciate it.
have a mid Atlantic? I know you do, and you're holding back on it. The way
Oh
the
God.
announcers used to talk. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, Mike
Oh,
Vavasis,
like
number
like what
7.
you were doing,
He's tapping in his little pink shoes. There he
dude.
goes, and
There's
takes a
one.
big swing, hits a drive to left. That's out of here. All right, go ahead.
It was I think it was 42 where he's like Jackie Robinson leaves off first base. He's more restless than a cat with a hot foot. Dude, every time I hear that, I'm just like, it's the best line ever.
Dude. That's so funny. I think it's the best. I think it's the best voice. I wish they would do that. Wish they would just do that more because I don't care about what these guys.
Right? And I like, but that should be like the everyday voice. Like Mike Vavasis, nice to meet you. Like imagine
Nice
meeting
to meet
someone like that.
you.
You're never gonna
Oh, you want
forget
a
that
photograph
person.
with me, huh? Okay. How much film you got in that
Hey,
thing,
slick
honey?
guy over here. You have to have like all the old school catchy sayings too. You
I'll
know,
have a number
you
1
get
with no
like,
cheese, and I'll have a Diet Coke with no ice,
and
please.
that's it.
Yeah, right? Like what? Did that guy just really order like that? Sounded awesome.
Just walk away.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's terrific. Okay, that was probably the best part of this whole interview, is us doing funny voices.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just do a whole nother one with just voices one day.
Just
We're
voices. I
gonna
love it.
start wrapping up. I got a couple other questions to seal this deal, but I really appreciate you coming through. Hopefully it's the first of many times we'll do this, and maybe we'll do an in-person one. That'd be great. And
Yes.
we'll see what happens. But here we go. I got some good ones for you. If you had $1 million, how would you blow it? How would you waste it? Spend it on whatever you want.
I have to waste it.
I'd prefer you not be responsible with the money. I'd prefer you just do something fun with
Oh
it.
man. Oh, you know what? Honestly, and this is like, it would be super impulsive. I think I would just get a helicopter.
Okay. And your plan for
I don't know
flying
what
it would be?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I would probably need to hire or learn. Maybe not learn. I don't think I would trust myself, but because this past weekend, just sitting in traffic in Atlanta, I never wanted to like harm something so much in my life. Like any person that would have came up to me, I just would have strangled them. And I think like if I had a helicopter, it would just make life so much easier because
You'd
I
feel
just can't
less
do
like you're going to
traffic.
strangle somebody. Like, I'm
I
going to
think
get in a
so.
helicopter and figure
And
it out.
just that's it. Traffic has to be like the worst trigger for me. Like I get very aggressive when I hit traffic, and I'm not an aggressive person, but something about not moving drives me nuts.
I had this
So
weird feeling
helicopter most likely.
you'd buy a helicopter and like it end up being in your yard most of the time. You're like, well, I can't fly it myself, and I spent 900,000 on the helicopter. I don't have a lot left to spend on a pilot for it. You just got this awesome helicopter.
Pilots are these days.
You're just playing in the helicopter all the time in the yard. Like, man, I love
That's
this helicopter. It's so cool. Dude. Yeah, come over. Let's hang out in the helicopter.
Right? I get evicted, so I'm just living in it, you know.
Do you have any assets? Well, just a bird. You know?
Just a bird.
All right, funny story. Atlanta traffic. Atlanta traffic will make you want to kill a human being. Like, it is, quite frankly, a crime against humanity that whoever is running for office coming up should absolutely fix Atlanta traffic. Like, you could win off that. Like, it makes no sense.
That's it. No, I just don't understand. And like, just when you get like some freedom, like you get back up to full speed, boom, you hit another stop, and I'm like, ugh, I don't get it, dude. Atlanta in general, that place is another world. That's like that should be its own state.
Yeah, I think or something. Or they need to build like helicopter roads or something, like, or just like a different road around, or more roads. Just put roads on top of roads there, and you might fix the problem.
Literally,
I don't know what they should do. I was so angry. I traveled at just about every hour of the day in Atlanta, from like midnight to noon, or whatever, however that clock works, like within intervals of 5 to 6 hours. It was always traffic. It doesn't end. It's like there's like a gang maybe that's doing it, or like a terrorist group that's behind it, because it's only evil could pull that off and get that many people that wound up all the time, and they're not just pure chaos.
So bad. It's the Southside Bloods. They're the ones controlling it.
I'm telling you, dude, there's some some terrorist organization is behind traffic in Atlanta, because it's purely evil. It's purely evil.
It's terrible. Right? Terrible.
So a helicopter.
Yep.
What is your when you are in full bodybuilder mode, what is your cheat meal?
Cheat meal. It's so it's actually like it's disgusting. I get the 4-pack from Crumble Cookie.
Talk dirty.
And I finish them all, like, to the point where, like, and like I don't know why I eat like this. Like, it's not like I was ever forced to eat growing up. Like, we were just fat kids. So I think if nothing's left over, I feel like I failed. So like I'll finish those things to like the point of like I'm gonna throw up, and I do it every time, no matter what occasion it is. If I get the 4-pack of Crumble Cookie, I'm gonna finish it, and like the next day I'm gonna feel like I have to puke the entire day.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a cheat meal right there. That's a cheat meal for sure. Yeah. Maybe with your $1 million, you could also buy like an awesome oven that just like once a week it's on a timer to make you 4 really delicious cookies that come out. That'd be kind of cool. Like, dude, that smart oven. That would be
the easy bake oven of cookies, just always ready to roll.
It's on a timer. You don't have to clean it. They just come out and they're just ready for it. All right, I love that cheat meal. With milk or without milk?
Without, because like if I did regular milk, I don't think I'd make it off the toilet the next day. I'll be honest.
Okay.
There's no shot.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough. All right. So we got that. Let's see. All right. You know, you've known about the greasy alpha thing for years. We've like kind of talked about it, whatever. I'm trying to still figure out what it means. I really don't know, but I just think it means it's like, I know I'll never be an alpha male because I just have too many degenerate habits like about myself. So like I have like my greasy moments. I think we all do. I think that's just what life is about. What is your like you're such an alpha human being, but you really do have to have some greasy traits that you feel comfortable sharing with the world. What are your greasy traits?
Oh, my greasy traits. Oh boy. I mean, I'll tell you what, maybe it's sometimes I'll go like 10 days without washing my hair. That's a pretty greasy trait. That's a pretty greasy trait.
That's gross greasy.
It is, dude. But you know, man, like it's off season. I rarely am sweating, you know, and like it's always up in a bun, so I'm good, man. But then like Heather's like, when did you wash your hair last? And I'm like, I don't know. She goes, that's not good if you don't have an answer. I'm like, you're right. It's not good at all. It's disgusting, dude. So I guess that'd be my top greasy trait.
That's a very greasy trait. All right. And I would say too, as a man who's struggling with hair, it bothers me that you make a conscious choice to not wash your hair for 10 days. I'm like, man, I wish I could just run my fingers through a bunch of hair and be like a Pantene commercial. And it's just like me, like really in the mood, right? Like Does it actually feel like that when you wash long hair? Because I've never felt that before.
No, it's terrible, dude. Because
Oh,
my shit's so nappy, dude. So I'm like in there trying to get the knots out. I'm like yanking it. There's shampoo flying everywhere. No, it's never, dude. I watching shower scenes in movies are the most disappointing thing ever because your shower never looks like that.
no,
Like they're
no.
like the music, so and everyone's just there. They're so I'm just like in there, like trying to. I'm always on a rush for some fucking reason when I'm in the shower. There's no reason why I'm in a rush, but I'm getting everything. My hair's everywhere. But dude, no, I hate showering's like the worst
I'm
chore
like
being an
always
adult, I would
worried.
say.
Like it's like getting in my eyes, and I'm constantly like rubbing my eyes. Like I don't know, I got this feeling in the shower.
Yeah,
So I'm like, maybe what if someone like found you in there? Like you don't want to get like broken into while you're in the shower. Maybe that's why you rush through it so fast. You're just nervous.
that's
So
it, dude.
someone's gonna
I'm,
break
I'm
in.
used to I'm used to that Pasco trait where I'm worried someone's gonna break into my house at all times. So I shower as
There's
fast as
that too.
possible.
Yeah, there's that. Pasco County, famous for
That's
their
it.
appearance on Live
Represent.
PD. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, I think this is my last question. And this question is something I'm trying to make famous. It is called
Okay.
Can you eat it while driving? And
Okay.
I got a couple of questions. So, chicken nuggets. Can you eat it while driving?
Oh, absolutely.
And what do you do with the sauce?
Oh, so I have in my truck. I have a French fry holder. I got it at a flea market, and it accommodates to dipping sauces and different types of varieties of food. So I put my French fry holder up, and I'll put my sauces there, and I lap the chicken nuggets, so it's easy access. You know,
The only
because
appropriate place
this
to
is a
buy a French fry holder is at the flea market.
the flea
That's
market.
only,
I
that's
love the flea market for those purposes.
that might be the greasier trait that you forgot to mention because you have like
Oh
you have
yeah,
an actual
honestly,
device that goes into the car. Imagine getting into someone else's car and be like, "Where's the
yep.
fry holder at?"
Right, right. It's something you don't expect, dude. I got a plethora of just those strangest things. That Heather's a messy eater, so I got her a bright pink bib with like a
Oh
catching
no!
thing at the bottom.
Oh, that's
She
great.
doesn't wear she doesn't wear it though. She was super pissed when I gave it to her, but it's there in case she ever wants to, eat efficiently, because she's a little messy when she
Yeah,
eats.
just a little messy little kid. It's all right though. It's all right. We're not perfect. We all know that. We're all
We're
greasy
not
alphas.
perfect.
Let's see. I think that's all I really got, dude. That was, all right.
I
Eat
love
it
it.
while driving, right? That was no. I didn't get
Yes.
to ask enough questions. An ice cream cone.
I guess I would just fist it, dude. There's no other
Yeah.
way. You just gotta,
Okay. Yeah. You
you
have
know,
because if you get an ice cream cone, you can't just put it down. You have to
you
eat that.
can't.
Okay. What about
Yeah.
soup? Soup.
I don't think you unless you get one of those like efficient Campbell soups that you could sip on. I don't think I could soup it.
Other thing. Okay. What about spaghetti?
Oh, I could do spaghetti easily with the fork twirl and everything. I'd have to like put the legs up to control the wheel, twisted, and dude, we're professionals.
That was on my driver's learning course. You don't
That wasn't
talk,
on your
you don't
test.
text, but you can absolutely learn how to twirl spaghetti. That's,
It's all right.
that's
3-point turn, spaghetti twirl. Good. Okay, on the checkpoint.
okay, so perfect. Oh man, anything Italian food is a yes, absolutely.
Easily.
Oh, dude, what about sushi? Can you eat sushi while driving?
So I don't know about with the chopsticks though, but
Okay, that's yeah. But if you can get around the chopsticks, then yeah, that's probably an
Oh
easier
yeah,
answer. Okay,
love
that's
sushi.
so funny. Oh my god, dude, that's great. We're at about an
Speaking
hour,
of
and
spaghetti,
yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
I got a question. Is it only me, but do people like anticipate like do they like recommend going to Italian restaurants and like trying to like get your approval on all the food always there?
Oh yeah, dude, I'm like profiled on eating because I'm Italian,
Yeah,
which we don't do for many other cultures. I've realized like people will come to you and be like,
no,
"Have you been to that Italian place? Is it good?" And you're like, "I don't even live here. Like, what do you
right.
what are you
Like
asking me for? Like,
right, like
did you
your
think I
Asian
just hit
friend
them all
doesn't come
up?
over, right?
No,
You don't take them to
no,
hibachi, like that's just like
no."
but like, dude, it's like everywhere they're like, oh, we're having Italian, and I'm just like,
It,
great, like I eat other foods too, like we don't have to do it, like if you don't want to.
I like how they do. Like they look at you. It's
You're
like you'll like
Italian.
that,
I'm like,
right? You'll
oh,
yeah.
I start
Yeah.
dancing, like, no way. Like, is my mom gonna
Yeah.
be there? Like, what do they expect from me? Like, you know.
Who's gonna lick the sauce spoon? Am I right? You know, like I don't know. Like, what do they want me? What do they want us to do? Just
Literally.
call our moms, like, Ma, guess what? I'm eating Italian. Hey, whoa, I'll be right there,
Right?
sweetie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we do get profiled on eating a lot, like
Easily.
recommendations, reviews, and and I love it. I love it. Let's not
Oh yeah.
change that at all. I want to
No.
be profiled at the time. We have a lot of
Absolutely.
cool things about us, so like keep the profile coming, and we'll keep picking. We'll keep picking the Italian places out, dude. We'll, like we know how
Absolutely.
to spot them. We know how to taste them out. We know the
Oh
good and
yeah.
bad and stuff. Like it's all right. We're okay with that profiling. I think it'd be weird if Italians one day were like, stop saying we all own pizza places.
Yeah.
That's not true. It's like, well, we
Right.
fucking do. You know, like
Yeah,
it's
absolutely we do.
if anything, we should stop letting other people own our pizza places. Like, I
That's
went
it.
to a pizza place, all Asian people, and I'm like, kind of honestly, I don't
Yeah.
like this. I don't like
No.
this.
No. If I
But
walked
it's
into a Chinese restaurant, the dude had a mustache and you know was just spitting out
Tony's.
Italian colors. Like I don't know if I want that. It's not authentic, you know.
Yeah, like if you go to Tony's Sushi, you're like, ugh. Like I don't know. I don't know if
It's
can I
always
see what Tony
questionable.
looks like? Yeah, what is does Tony look like a big Italian dude or a big Japanese dude? Like I don't know which
Right.
one. What if Tony's half Japanese and half Italian? That would be pretty fireplace. Tony's Pizza next to
He's
Tony's
just a
Sushi.
big
Like
ginger that comes out. We're like, this doesn't make sense.
no, that can't be Tony. That's that no, that's not he's not allowed to be Tony. Oh my god, dude. All right. Well, you know what? Let's not let too much time go by before we do this again, and we'll like I don't know review. We'll review like spring training rosters or something. I don't know. We'll get life on the road with you.
Absolutely.
Or I want to keep doing it because you're one of my favorite people to talk to, and I'm super proud of you. And I'm very happy for all the things going on. And for folks, if you've made it this far listening, which I don't think anybody has, follow Mike Vavasis, follow Vava. I'm going to put all your links and stuff in there and watch the Party Animals. Cheer for the Party Animals, not the Bananas, baby. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
dude. I'm going to end
Dude,
this, but
thank you
stay
so
on and
much.
we'll talk. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Say thank you to me. Please say thank you.
No, dude, thank you so much. And I know you said you're proud of me, but I'm even prouder than you, man, with everything you're doing, dude. It's great to see it.
Thanks, brother. I love you, dude. All right.
Yeah,
Stay
absolutely.
on.
Love you,
We're going
bud.
to talk for a minute.
Yes, sir.